Hi guys, I am sorry I took my time in getting back to your questions. I've just decided to come and do a video because I did say in the Late Med group that I was enrolled with OUM, and so I've had a lot of messages in my inbox on Messenger asking about OUM. And to be honest, I don't frequent my messenger, so I'm sorry if you've moved on and you are past these questions I'm about to address. But I just thought, because it's a lot of you, instead of I'd like getting back to you individually, I might as well just come with a video and address all the questions. Hopefully they answer some of the follow-up questions you might have following this. And if you have any more questions, feel free to comment under the video or go back to my messenger. I will still try to reply, bear with me. So it was your first impressions of the university. First impressions, well, to be honest, I never knew about this uni. Until maybe 4 years ago. One of my colleagues, actually, I used to live in Melbourne, so I moved. So I was just catching up with her, I guess, just on social media. Hi, how are you? You know, what have you been up to? It's been a while. And she told me, well, I'm a physio and I still work as a physio. So she was as well. And she said, oh, I am now doing she was halfway past her third year at the time. With what? You know, then she told me this uni. I'm like, what? You know, and of course I've thought about progressions. I've had interest in medicine as well. So when she said that sparked my interest, like, because for me, I thought that dream was long buried because I'm a mom, you know, I work, I'm a sole trader, so I'm busy, my life is busy. And it's been a while since I left uni. So I thought that dream was buried. But she started telling me about the uni. There were a lot of positives, but also there were some negatives. So the negatives for me was I wasn't going to get HECS. So that meant I would have to pay, and I didn't have that money. She did give me a contact with the uni. I got in touch with the uni, and the contact did also tell me the very things that she told me about, and that yes, you have to pay, although there is payment plans. So I looked at how much it would cost, you know. So you just have to do your research, basically. Go into the uni website, look at what it's asking, see where you fall short, see how you can try and meet those. So I did do my research, and to me it came up to, okay, so I won't have HECS. But the flexibility side of things, in terms of, you know, all the lectures are recorded. So if at all I'm working or my baby's crying or whatever and I miss the lecture, it's still there. I can catch up with it at the weird hours of morning, you know, so I can still get to it. So there were positives. And so the negatives, the first negative for me was the HECS. So then after making contact, this is 4 years ago, I decided, okay, then I will have to save up. But then while waiting, of course, they say they don't really need the GEMSET. But I thought, it's been a while. I did a Bachelor of Science more than 10 years ago, and it was only 2 years before I branched off to do physio. So then I thought, probably it's worth doing the GEMSET, and so that you just, you know, get your science up and ready, get your brain to fire again. So I set the GEMSET. My first one wasn't so great. I think I got like a 56 or something. But still, I think the science section on my first sit was 49, I think. So I thought, no, I need to sit it again because I wanted to get more than 50 in the science. And at the time, though, I have to say I had not really done, I just thought, well, I have a science background, I can do this. Girl or boy, no. You need to do your GEMSET study. So of course, if you are part of the Late Med group, you know that we have Barry Law. He's fantastic. You need to do something. Even if you think you are a science guru, you need that for the GEMSET. So yeah, I did that for the second part. So I live in Canberra, and I thought, okay, I could make it into ANU. So I did follow up with ANU, and again, there was a block for me. They said, your degree, which is my last degree, which was the physio degree, is more than 10 years old. Ouch. And so you know that with the 10-year rule with most of the unis, so they said, nah, go and do a full, like they said, 2 full-time semesters and then come back to us, you know, like do 1 year of study or something and then come back to us. At that time, I'm like, my friend, my colleague is now finishing, and I'm still trying the GEMSET, and I'm still, so there's still this hurdle, there's still that hurdle. And I'm like, OUM is still there. OUM say they don't need the GEMSET. OUM don't even care about my degree that it's more than 10 years old. So I thought, either I just keep pursuing the GEMSET. By the time I finish this full-time 1 year that ANU wanted, my GEMSET will be expired because it lasts 2 years. So I'll have to sit again. And I was like, so it's like I'm just constantly going on this. And I thought, let me just enroll with OUM, and I'll keep going with OUM, and I will finish, right? Medicine is medicine. Of course, unis offer different things. But I thought, well, at the moment, I actually work in GP clinics. I work a lot with the GPs, and a lot of them are international graduates, So OUM is also considered an international university. Even though now the majority of their students are Australian, it's still considered an international uni because it's like a Samoan American uni. But yeah, so just like any other international doctor that comes, you would have to sit the AMC, and they come, they sit the exams, they continue practicing, they pass. So if you go through your university degree with that, knowing that you're gonna have the AMC, then I don't have a problem. I'll do it. I have set so many exams. Gosh, I've set the GEMSET. So I feel like I can sit any exam. Yeah, so really there's always supporting bodies, there's always groups, there's always, where there's a will, there's a way. So yeah, sorry, I have been rambling on, but I was meant to be answering first impression, but I've kind of just really gone through some of them, because one of the questions was, are you worried about the AMC or internship? So no, yeah, I can't say I'm not worried. I know it's coming. Yes, I am worried, but I don't think I'm too worried about it, to be honest. Internship, one of the greatest things now with OUM is that it's actually really, now that they have a lot of Australian students, they are really trying to up and support us a lot in the Australian climate. So we have a lot going on, which includes internship. Now, I think the groups before us, they used to have to find their own placements or internships or whatever. But now they do it all for us. You just tell them, hey, I'm in Canberra. And so they will find one for you. So that has been taken out. So we don't worry about that. They do find placements for us. So I've answered first impressions. First impression, wow. Actually, first impression was like, bang, And I'm pretty sure it must be the same with every uni. It's just like, whoa, you are in this wave. But I think don't actually underestimate medicine. If you're going to go into any uni, be prepared for the work, the amount of work, the load, The good thing though, the first week when we started, it was learning how to learn. Who knew that you could be taught how to learn? So yeah, of course, everything is scientific based and evidence based. So they taught us all these things like the Bloom's taxonomy and how to read a book or anything, how to skim through and then go back, so it was a lot of things. Yeah, I never knew that you could be taught how to learn, but yeah. So we did that first week. The other thing is that with I've just finished the 12 weeks. So the reason why they say they don't need the GEMSET is because they do offer you their pre-med program, which is 3 months. Of course, it's intense. The lectures are 4 days a week and there's tutorial groups. But all the lectures, because it's all based on American time, the lectures either are 12 midday or 10 a.m., but they're all recorded. You can always catch up with them after work if you're working at whatever time. And also the frequency of the assessments. We are tested every week, and it contributes towards your continuous assessment. So I do think, yes, the frequency is a bit much, but it helps you stay on top of your game. For some people like myself, if you didn't test me every week, I probably would push off the study. So it does help us to stay on top of it. So with this 12-week program, the Introduction to Medicine, every week for 11 weeks there was a test. So it's 50-50, the continuous assessment and the final exam, and the pass mark is 70%. And before you actually start week 1, you go through a pre-test. The pre-test doesn't count to anything. They just want to show you where you are, and so you can always compare your initial score to the final score. And the thing with the pre-med or introduction to medicine is it's actually not going to appear in your final university, your medical degree. It's not going to appear in your transcript, but nevertheless it's a good base, so you need to give it your all, you know. Yeah, so the first impression was, especially in the COVID climate, the uni was based or in started from an online climate. So for them, I feel like they are a lot far ahead in terms of the online environment. Everything is so organized, everything is flowing. Like, I wouldn't falter them. And they did ask me as well, like, are you worried about just studying online? Because the only thing I've ever done online before this was, you know, your short courses, but nothing this long doing it online, you know. So yeah, I told them that I'm not gonna lie, I've only done short courses, but I don't think it would be hard, you know. So yeah, no, it wasn't. It's so organized, it's very interactive. Every one of us is given an academic advisor, every one of us. So you do have someone who is kind of your mentor. They talk to you on a weekly basis. So the support system is there. It's amazing. I'm not gonna rave it up too much because yes, it's my uni, but I've been through a few unis in my life, doing the one-on-one of being physically present in a lecture. But yeah, I don't know, maybe it's also because I've grown up and the experience. I do find this uni very organized. Yeah, I don't know. But again, not everyone is the same, guys. Some people would not respond well to online. But in the COVID climate, I think somebody from ANU was also saying that they are doing their classes online. So I feel like this online environment, we just all have to get used to it. It's the way of the future. Yeah. Yeah, so I think I've answered my first impressions, the online environment. Are you worried about the AMC or internship? I think I've answered that. The other question was, how difficult was the interview? I think I underestimated the interview. But an interview is an interview. You're always going to be scared. You're always going to be anxious. Not to scare you, though. They do try to prep you. I think there were 3 in total. I went through 3 interview processes. The first one is the lady who is based here in Australia, and she, my God, she wants you to know. She wants you, so you really need to do your research. Go onto their website and go to the student handbook. Go to the handbook, read the handbook, look at when is the first week, when is orientation, then after orientation, what is next, then after that, what is next, all the way. I think when I went through, she told me to go through that because I was like, okay, we have an interview, so what should I expect? This is just the first interview with her. And she said, okay, go through this. And I assumed that I just have to look at the first year. Like, so I just looked at the introduction to med and then the first year. Was I wrong? You actually have to go through. They want to see that you've had a thorough think of how your life is going to adjust around all this intense study, you know. So after the first interview, she basically told me, what do you think? I don't think you are ready, are you? That was a blow. And then the good thing she said, I'm giving you another week. Make sure you do your research. And then it was gonna move on to the next person, because the one in Australia just tries to prep you, and then it goes on to the other lady in America before the actual interview with the rest of the deans and the other doctors, before the panel. So you have 2 stages. So after that first one, which didn't go so well, of course, I sat down and studied that handbook, and I came up with a program. So they need you to show them that this is how, get an Excel thing and do your week. Monday, I'm going to do this. Tuesday, I'm going to do this prep for the lecture. Then I have the live lecture for 2 hours from this time to this time. And then I'm going to ensure that you've got 40 plus hours of self-directed study apart from the live lectures and the tutorials. Yeah. So I did that for the rest of, I think I did it for the 2 years, because after that you start your clinicals anyway. So I did it for the 2 years to show that I know that after the e-foundations I'll get into the system based, and show that you know that you also have to have a doctor in your site where you can go and spend an hour or two every week. So you need to show that you know all these things. And yes, I then moved on to the second stage with the lady in America, and you have to be ready for that lady. She did fire me with questions, even though it wasn't, was it? Yeah, it was face to face actually. It was like Zoom. So we did have the video on. I did start being a little bit in the end. I think I hid it well from her, but this is how much I really wanted this, you know. So I was prepared for her. She did keep asking, and I think I was just firing back, answering her. And she was saying, but you're saying you're sleeping for 7 hours, is that enough? I'm like, yes, it's enough. And you know, so be ready for any type of question. Life, you know, you have a small child, by the time you go on your clinicals, she will be this old. Are you going to be able to go away from her? Because one of the requirements of OUM is you need to do at least 4 weeks of a placement in Samoa. They have a teaching hospital there, so you need to in your clinical years you need to do at least one rotation there. So then she was asking me all those questions, and I told her, look, I'm actually an international person. Well, I'm Australian now, but yeah, I've come from Botswana. I have no problem with moving. I've moved across Australia everywhere. I love moving, meeting people, whatever. So moving for me is no problem. But yes, I have a child. She would have started school then, so you can't say you can move with her. No. But Samoa is, show her that you know how far Samoa is. It's a 6-hour flight from here, and the schools close this, they have this much break. They can come on the break time, or they can take time away from school for, you know, show them that you are balancing, you know how to balance. Yeah. The type of questions then after the second interview, of course, then comes the panel. So these are your typical med school questions. Of course, think about your personal letter. Really, guys, give it time. My personal letter almost didn't get me into med. Again, I didn't know how much medical schools emphasize on the personal letter. Don't just think, oh, I want to be a doctor to save the world, or paste or copy from someone else who said. No, really be original. Think about, why do you want to be a doctor? Yeah, so think about your personal letter. And then all the other questions are really the questions that you get asked, I guess, everywhere. It's all online, it's all on YouTube. Like, expect the why you want to be a doctor question, but research as well. There's a lot of material in the Late to Med group on the interview process. Really research your local climate. Think about where you want to go. What is really driving you to be a doctor? What problems do you see in your vicinity? How do you think those problems can be tackled? You know, yeah, really think wide. If you, yeah, think about your ethical scenarios. Think beyond, I want to be a doctor and heal people because people are sick. A lot of people will always be sick. Think beyond those. Think beyond that. Think about and present yourself. Be you. Be you. Don't try to be anything else. Present your personality. Yeah, I feel like because in OUM a lot of the students are mature entry, we do have the experience. And again, nowadays medicine is trying to shy away from just being this white coat syndrome people that have no warmth, no bedside personality with your patients. So we need to see your personality. It doesn't matter, every personality, as long as it shines, it's beautiful within reason. How do you find online? Is it difficult or easy? It's been okay for me. I wouldn't say easy, I wouldn't say difficult. Everything is challenging. But I like the flexibility of it. Like with the tests that we have every week, it's not like 1 p.m. Friday sharp, sit down, write the test. They give you a window, like a 48-hour window for you, so you can sit it whenever, you know. Yeah, guys, I've done it's almost 20 minutes. I thought it was gonna be a 5-minute video. Do ask wherever it's not clear. I tend to overlook some things, so do ask and I'll do this again. I hope this is helpful. Thank you. Bye.